Part 1. The Isle War and the Weight of Authority. The Fires of Heaven opens in the immediate aftermath of the upheavals in the Isle Waste, at the end of the Shadow Rising. Rand al'Thor has emerged from Ruidian not only confirmed as the Karakarn, but burdened with knowledge that has shattered Aiel identity. He has seen their true history. The proud warrior clans descended from pacifists who once followed the way of the leaf. By revealing that truth, Rand has fulfilled prophecy, yet he has also broken something sacred. The Aiel follow him, but they do not follow him easily. The consequences appear almost immediately. Couladin, leader of the Shaido, rejects Rand's authority and declares himself Karakarn through lies and bravado. His rebellion splits the Aiel into factions and sparks what amounts to a civil war. Rand understands that allowing Couladin to roam free would fracture the Waste permanently and possibly turn thousands to the Shadow's purposes. He therefore does something that marks a critical shift in his character. He chooses preemptive war. Until this point, Rand has often reacted to events. Now he commands them. He gathers the loyal clans and prepares to pursue the Shaido westward across the spine of the world. This march out of the Waste is both military and symbolic. The Aiel, who have spent centuries isolated in their harsh homeland, will now flood into the wetlands like a breaking dam. Rand's presence does not just fulfill prophecy, it reshapes geopolitics. Yet even as he commands armies, Rand's inner life deteriorates. Channeling Satan has become easier and more tempting, but also more frightening. He feels Luz Theron Telemon's memories pressing closer. Sometimes he catches himself thinking in alien idioms or recalling places he has never seen. He begins to suspect that madness may not arrive as a sudden break, but as a slow blending of identities. Every time he channels, he wonders if he is losing himself. Moiraine continues advising him, but her influence wanes. Rand listens respectfully, yet he increasingly makes decisions without consulting her. This shift unsettles her. She has always guided events. Now the pattern seems to guide Rand directly. Their relationship subtly changes from mentor and pupil to wary equals. Mat Cawthon, meanwhile, struggles with changes of his own. Since the strange encounter with the Aelfin and Aelfin in Ruidian, his mind is filled with the memories of long-dead soldiers. He knows battle formations, languages, tactics he has never studied. He tries to dismiss it as nonsense, but the knowledge surfaces whenever danger looms. Combined with his impossible luck and the foxhead medallion that blocks the one power, Mat has become something unique, part gambler, part trickster, part reluctant general. He wants nothing to do with Rand's wars, yet events keep pulling him closer. When Rand commands him to lead troops, Mat protests loudly, but obeys. Beneath the jokes and complaints, loyalty runs deep. As the Aiel begin their westward march, the tone of the story shifts from prophecy and revelation to something more pragmatic and dangerous: conquest. For the first time, Rand is not just the subject of destiny. He is shaping history deliberately. And history, Jordan makes clear, demands blood. Part 2. Division in the White Tower and the Rise of Egwene. While Rand wages war in the West, the White Tower fractures from within. This storyline, following Egwene, Nynaeve, and Elaine, reveals that the struggle against the Shadow is not limited to armies and Forsaken. It also manifests through politics, suspicion, and institutional decay. The girls' search for the Black Aja leads them to the village of Saladar, where they stumble upon a shocking discovery. A large group of Aes Sedai have fled Tar Valon and effectively rebelled against Elaida, who has deposed Siwan Sanche and declared herself a Mirlin Set. The White Tower has split into rival factions. This schism feels inevitable in retrospect. Elida's rule is harsh and paranoid, and many sisters refuse to accept her authority. Yet the result is chaos. The Aes Sedai, long the stabilizing force of the Westlands, are now divided at precisely the moment the world most needs unity. Saladar becomes a mirror tower, a fragile attempt to recreate legitimacy in exile. Egwene, Nynaeve, and Elaine suddenly find themselves among experienced sisters who treat them not as children, but as valuable assets. Their accomplishments: hunting the Black Aja, surviving the Xianshan, navigating Tear, have quietly earned respect. Nynaeve and Elaine also continue experimenting with Ter Angriel and lost talents. Their most significant breakthrough comes when Nynaeve manages to heal Stilling, something believed impossible. This discovery has immense implications. It proves that what the Tower accepts as absolute limits may only be ignorance. Power structures built on impossibility begin to look fragile. Egwene's role changes most dramatically. Once the eager novice, she now walks Tel'aran'rhiod with skill rivaling the wise ones. She grows more confident, more politically astute. When the rebel Aes Sedai debate how to oppose Elida and whether to support Rand, they realize they need someone symbolically neutral, someone young enough to be molded but strong enough to command respect. They choose Egwene Alver as a Mirlin Set. The decision shocks her. It is partly manipulation. Older sisters assume they can control her, but it is also recognition of her strength. Egwene accepts, terrified but determined. In that moment, the village girl from Emond's Field becomes one of the most powerful political figures in the world. Her arc mirrors Rand's in an important way. Both are pushed into leadership before they feel ready. Both must learn to command people far older and more experienced. Both struggle with isolation. The pattern, it seems, is not creating just one leader, but many. Part 3. Across Cairhien. As Rand's forces enter the wetlands, the conflict with Couladin intensifies. The Shaido pour into Cairhien, pillaging and destabilizing an already fragile nation. Civil unrest, famine, and political intrigue combine into near anarchy. Rand must defeat the Shaido while also navigating Cairhienan politics, which are labyrinthine even at the best of times. Here, Mat's reluctant talents come to the forefront. Given command almost accidentally, Mat organizes troops with startling competence. Battle plans form instinctively in his mind. He understands terrain, timing, morale. Soldiers begin trusting him. What started as luck starts looking like genius. The Battle of Cairhien becomes his proving ground. Outnumbered and surrounded by chaos, Mat executes daring maneuvers that save entire units and turn near defeat into victory. He fights not like a hero out of legend, but like a practical, profane, very human commander who simply refuses to lose. By the battle's end, Couladin is dead, killed not by Rand, but by Mat's forces. The irony is sharp. Mat, who wanted nothing to do with destiny, ends up slaying the dragon's rival. This marks a turning point. Soldiers flock to Mat voluntarily, forming what will become the Band of the Red Hand. He cannot escape leadership any more than Rand can. Rand himself fights with terrifying power, channeling lightning and fire to annihilate enemies. Observers see not a man, but a force of nature. Each display of strength secures obedience, but widens the emotional gulf between him and others. People kneel. They whisper. They fear him. He notices. and it hurts more than he admits. Part 4. Lanfear, Moiraine, and the Price of Defiance. Amid the military victories, the Forsaken maneuver in the shadows, Lanfear continues her obsessive pursuit of Rand, believing she can seduce him into ruling the world beside her. Unlike Ishmael's nihilism, Lanfear offers partnership and shared glory. She represents temptation rather than annihilation. Rand rejects her repeatedly, but her presence unsettles him. She understands Lews Therin's past intimately and treats Rand as both lover and reincarnation. Her attention blurs identity further. Tensions culminate when Lanfear attacks in Caerhien, furious over Rand's affection for others and his refusal to embrace her vision. The confrontation escalates into one of the novel's most tragic moments. Moiraine intervenes. For books, Moiraine has guided Rand, manipulated events, sacrificed comfort and safety to protect the world. Here, she recognizes that Rand cannot defeat Lanfear alone. In a sudden, decisive act, she tackles Lanfear through a twisted redstone ter'angreal doorway, vanishing with her into another realm. Both disappear. Moiraine leaves behind only a letter and instructions. Her loss devastates Rand. She has been his anchor to reason and purpose. Without her, he feels adrift. Worse, he blames himself. If he had been stronger, faster, wiser, she would not have needed to sacrifice herself. The moment crystallizes one of the book's central truths. Victory always costs something personal. Prophecy does not spare those who serve it. Part 5. Ravin, Balefire, and the Shattering of Illusion. The final movement centers on Caemlyn, where Ravin, another Forsaken, has taken control of Andor by masquerading as Lord Gabriel and ensnaring Queen Morgus. Through compulsion and manipulation, he has effectively conquered the nation without open war. Rand decides he cannot allow Forsaken to rule unchecked. For perhaps the first time, he chooses to strike directly at one rather than wait for attacks. The assault is swift and brutal. Rand travels, using newly learned weaves, to Caemlyn with a small strike force. What follows is chaos. Ravin unleashes deadly traps and lightning. Several of Rand's allies, including Mat and Aviendha, are killed in the fighting. Their deaths break something in Rand. Grief and rage merge. He draws enormous amounts of Sidon and uses Balefire, a forbidden weave that burns threads from the pattern itself. The effect not only destroys Ravin, but erases his recent actions, undoing the deaths he caused. Mat and the others return to life, their deaths erased. But the cost is clear. Balefire damages reality itself. Too much could unravel the pattern. Rand's willingness to use it frightens even his friends. He has saved them, yes, but at the edge of catastrophe. The novel ends with multiple turning points. Rand has defeated another Forsaken but lost Moiraine. Mat has become a general whether he likes it or not. Egwene now leads the rebel Aes Sedai. The world's political order fractures further, and the Shadow's influence spreads more openly than ever. Rand stands increasingly alone, stronger than any living channeler, yet more isolated and unstable with every step. The fires of heaven, war, prophecy, power, are burning brighter, and they threaten to consume everything, including the dragon himself.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos.